Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Tesla, specifically my Tesla. I've owned this for 2 years. It's a Model Y dual motor, and I have gotten a lot of questions lately from some of my friends about, is it time to buy one, right? They had 3 main questions. 1 about charging on trips, 2 about range anxiety, and the 3rd one's about the technology. For someone my age, they're asking if the technology is a little too advanced or it's too hard to learn. So what we're going to do is hop in the car. I'm going to show you the touch screen, some of the interface and the software, and then we're going to head back inside and answer those questions. All right, let's go. All right, when you first hop in, the screen comes on. It gives you some basic information about the car. This is the charging status. My charge is complete. It's charged to 70%, and these give you some basic stats here that nobody really cares about. You can do things like move this car around. They're kind of fun. They wear off. You don't do a lot of the stuff once you own the car, but let's get to the main menu. If you hit the car icon down here, it pulls up the sub menus like charging, locks, lights. So all these things you can adjust. Basically, you just adjust them once and then you're good to go. They stay with your profile and they don't change unless you manually, if you want to change them. But you know, most people don't change their seats. So if you swipe down out of these menus, then you get the navigation. This is what it looks like when you drive. Only thing different is this car right here, or the icon of the car, is on a road, and it'll show the road as you go. To navigate, it's super simple. You just put in where you want to go. Now, on short trips, you don't do that to the store because you know how to get there. But if you're going, like I went the other day to a softball complex, I wasn't sure where it was, so it happened to be this destination. If you hit it, it routes you there. It usually shows you a couple routes, and it'll figure out how to get there based on the conditions currently, the weather. See, it's showing me 2 routes. It's showing me this route here, or the blue route's the fastest. You can select the one you want. So there's 2 other functions you mainly use this screen for. One of them is you use these physical, or they're virtual controls, right? These buttons you tap, and you can get to them all through this menu here and customize it. You can pull any of these down and put them in this little easy access menu, right? You hit this and it gives you some basic controls for the car, like the fan speed right here, and where you want the direction of the fans to go, if you want them in the front or the back seats. And so just some basic functions. All right, back inside. So let's talk about charging first. When you're home, charging, it can't be any simpler. You have an outlet in your garage, either 110 or 220. You buy a Tesla charger. There's two types, I think, now. Basically, one's less powerful, so it'll charge your car a little slower. The most powerful one's like 40 miles, 30, I think 30 or 40 miles per hour. The other one's like 20. I have the one that's 20. Just plug it in when you drive in your garage, that's it. And the car will start to charge. Now you can schedule your charging if you want, but basically you just plug it in and it charges, and then when you get back into it, you have a full tank of gas. Super simple. On trips, you type into the navigation where you want to go. I went to Utah last week. It routed me to 4 chargers on the way, on the fastest route I can go. And it told me where to stop, how long to charge before I can continue my trip. Super easy. It also lets you know at those chargers if there's amenities, if there's facilities. And most chargers I've used over the last couple of years are right off the freeway. They're like next to gas stations, or they're on the side of strip malls, or they're next to a business. So it's no issue at all to find chargers, and the Tesla tells you where to go to get to them, and it makes sure that you're not going to run out of charge along the way, and it gives you a buffer. And then you can also select different charging stops if you want to stop more, or you want to stop at a different stop. Once you select the new stop, then it reroutes the other stops. So it might add one more, it might take away one. I charged 4 times going there and then 4 coming back. So charging is not an issue. It's really an afterthought at home or on trips. Simple and convenient. The second is range anxiety. This car, when I got it new, was about 300 miles per charge. And if you are doing a normal daily commute of, I think the average now is like 20 to 50 miles, you don't have to worry about range ever. It's not going to get close to maxing out the range on a daily commute. I mean, even if you're driving like 120 miles, it's still got almost 3 times that in the battery. And then every time you come home, if you just come home at night, you plug it in again, like we talked about, and it'll charge. And in the morning, you'll have a full tank of gas. So there's not really any anxiety. I think the anxiety comes when people go on trips. But if you haven't owned one, you didn't realize that the navigation system will route you to the chargers along the way. I will say this, it does take a little bit longer, because I think we stopped for a total of 4 stops, and maybe the stops totaled up to about, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes, maybe an hour and 15 total for 4 stops. And I think if I would have taken my gas car, we would have stopped maybe twice. It's like a 9-hour, 10-hour drive. We probably would have stopped twice, once for gas, the second time to have lunch. But we had to stop for lunch anyway, so it's a little bit extra driving, but it's definitely more convenient and cheaper currently with the economy. The third thing is, let's talk about the technology. I showed you what it's like, the basic use of the touch screen. All the technology and the applications are all intuitive. It's kind of like owning an Apple product. Right? You could give an iPad to a 5-year-old and they could figure out how to turn it on and use some of the applications. So Tesla software is the same way. It just makes sense, and it's integrated in a way that everything flows. You can find things. So the technology is not so advanced for someone like my age, or if you're just getting into an EV and you're in middle-aged, where you would feel that it's too much car for you. And I think on the contrary, once you get to know the car and you drive it for a couple months, you're going to feel like, how did I live without this car for so long, right? And when you go back to an ICE car, you don't need a key. You can just walk away from it. If you get full self-driving, it drives itself. I mean, it's just a great way to travel, and super easy and non-stressful. So those are the 3 main questions I get a lot. I do get some questions about FSD, full self-driving. If you're interested in that, leave a comment and I can do a video on that as well. I'd love to hear from anybody who's watching this. Again, this is a new channel for me. It's geared towards middle-aged people like myself. And I'd love to know if you own a Tesla, if you're thinking about getting one, or an EV in general, and if you had any questions or experiences. Leave me a comment, and thanks for tuning in.